Alright, Shalom. We'll start first by giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahushai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahushai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahushai, Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, house of David, those that will be chosen for salvation in the coming destruction. Shalom. Start off first with the scripture. It says, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33, For the Most High God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. And I read that because of this madness which is going on, which we acknowledge that Edomites are outside the temple, and they're not supposed to be and they're not gonna be righteous, because they're outside the temple. They're profane. But this is influencing you Jakes out there, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Believing that this is all right to be this way or to feel this way. Which is bull. The Most High God is gonna kill you for that. It says 10-year-old transgender New Jersey girl, which means she was a boy and now she decided that she wanted to be a girl. Like 10-year-olds could really make sound decision. It says, I feel way more happier now that I know who I am. You were born with a penis. You're still a boy, man. You still got one. You're still a boy, right? It says, as Vernon said, Rebecca Brusselhoff, or whatever, hasn't always been comfortable in her own skin. Around age 7, she talked about not wanting to be alive. Her mother, Jamie Brusselhoff, says she didn't enjoy anything. She had anxiety, was really distressed and depressed. So like in depression came with that. Jamie says she's just kind of lost in her light. She just kind of lost the light in her. Really? Yeah, because she ain't supposed to be doing that. They speak not according to this words because there's no light in them. This little girl didn't have light. This little girl was doomed for destruction, man, just like her parents are doomed for destruction. Matter of fact, right quick, they're going to hit on this word anxiety quite a few times. Come on. I'm getting slow now. Yeah, anxiety. They always blame anxiety for anxiety disorder, right? They always blame that as the center of any excuse, because you can't measure a person's anxiety. You can't measure that, right? It's an increased anxiety that interferes with daily life. It says a mental health disorder. Where is this from? I don't know. This is from Mayo Clinic and others, right? The sources. It says a mental health disorder characterized by feelings of worry, anxiety, or fear that are strong enough to interfere with one's daily activities. Right? A mental disorder characterized by feelings. You can't tell somebody how they feel. It says examples of anxiety disorders include panic attacks, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, of little things bothering you. I guess that's the best way to say it. And post-traumatic stress disorder. Stress after something traumatic has happened to you. Well, this is probably pre-traumatic stress disorder. That's a lot of this feel of anxiety is you people in your spirits, that something's bad about to go down, especially you Edomites. You Edomites know the Most High is not happy with you. You can feel the vibe in the air and the earth, that the Most High hates you, that the earth hates you. All the blessings that you've been, of this time of that you were to rule the planet Earth is coming to an end, and you can feel it. It says examples of symptoms include stress that's out of proportion to the impact of the event. Yep. What's the event? America being destroyed. Because a lot of times, and then you white people coming out of power, man. That's what this boils down to. It says inability to set aside a worry and restlessness. Now, what did this kid learn anxiety? From a grown-up. A grown-up that condoned this. Age is affected. Look, 6 to 13 is pretty high. 14 to 18 is very high. 19 to 40 is high. 41 to 60 is high. And then it comes back down at 60 plus. This is bull, man. Let's go back. Let's go back to this, to the article. Because what they want to tell you is, like a grown-up and put this in a kid's head. A grown-up put this in the kid's head, man. That this was what it was. And now they've created this alternate reality that has this kid really believing that they were chosen the wrong gender. Yeah, it wasn't about the wrong gender being chosen. It was about them not feeling comfortable, man. The kid didn't feel comfortable. Well, that's all right. You're not supposed to feel comfortable as a 10-year-old or a 7-year-old. You're supposed to be uncomfortable. You're supposed to have all these rules and guidelines that you need to follow and be a part of. When you don't, that creates lawlessness. Is like the scriptures say, nothing's better than a mind well instructed. You know, that's for Jake, man. That's not for you heathens, man. Anyway, lost the light in here. There was no light in her. Anyway, it says it wasn't until after Rebecca hit a crisis point in her that her family became aware of the reason for the distress, her gender. She'd been born a boy, but in her heart, how they know it was in her heart? In her mind. She knew she was a girl. 2 years after her transition, Rebecca says much has changed. Okay, let's get to the point. Her mother said, had been gender non-conforming from the time she was 2 or 3. Gender non-conforming since 2 or 3. What, as a kid, what do you know about gender conforming to a gender? You don't. You barely learn that you got a little pee-pee or you don't. And if you do know about that, you don't know which the other one has. You don't know that there's a different alternative until a grown-up teaches you this. It said Rebecca, which is crazy. I didn't even call her real name, like Robert or something. I don't know. It said Rebecca gravitated toward pink, purple sparkles in girls' clothing. But around 2nd grade, she began to get anxious over being grouped with boys in school or having to take on boys' roles in school plays. You know, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if this kid was being molested, man, at a young age. Who knows, man? The condition of the world is so messed up now. Who's to know anymore? You know? It says that anxiety, Jamie said, began to manifest itself. She attempted to run into traffic, or in another case, punched out her window screen and tried to jump out of the window. Kid wanted attention, man. You need to look into those things. Sometimes kids just want attention. Sometimes they're not getting the proper affection they need and attention they need. Parenting is not all that hard, man. But you Edomites, you suck at it. Because you're unruly and unlawful. You allow that to be with your children. After going to counseling, consulting pediatric specialists in gender, and peeling back the layers, it one day clicked when Rebecca learned the word learned the word transgender. In counseling is where she learned it. For her, Jamie said, it was a light bulb moment. She was pulled back from the proverbial and literal window ledge, her mother said. Yeah, man, I'm not about to read this, but, says how wonderful. But what's really at hand here with this article is that they're pushing this so much, and they're going to prosecute people for standing on one side or the other of the fence, for declaring you're a woman. But there's no real problem with declaring that you're a woman and you're proud and all that other stuff. They're hyping up women. But when you're a man and you proclaim your masculinity and your superiority as a man, even though it's there. There is a superiority that men were created with, above women upon the earth. There is a superiority of men in strength and mental capacity. Now, details, who gives a shit, man? You women can have all those little details and thoughts and feelings and worries and what's the word? When you can do two things at once, you can have all of that. Men don't need that. Men need to be able to concentrate on one task at hand and accomplish that task way greater than a woman can, especially physically. So there is a difference between them, but this is a part of the agenda to demasculate people, to put everybody on the same level, the same low level, to put everybody on the same low level, so they can, so everybody's all inclusive, and then they can make people subjected to the same things, i.e. the chip. So they take this mark of the beast chip, man. Anyways, I gotta read this part. Jump down. It says, Jamie saw firsthand the community embracing her daughter at a service at their church where her husband, Christopher, is the pastor. Christopher, what was his name? Windo, something. I don't remember the name of this guy, man. Brusselhoff. This dude's a pastor. You should know better. This is why Esau can't be in this position, man, to rule, to touch this Bible. It said a parishioner agreed. It tells you how weak the church is. A parishioner approached Jamie and said she didn't fully understand what it was to be transgender, but she could see the difference in Rebecca. As a boy, Rebecca would hide herself behind her parents and wouldn't give a high five, but now she's smiling, twirling her dress, and high-fiving. This is crazy, man. Oh my goodness, man. This shit is crazy, man. Let me hit some scripts and close out. Get back to this. So let's go to Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Deuteronomy 22 and 5. This is for you Israelites, man. This is not for these heathens. They can do whatever the hell they want for now until we get them in subjection. But for now, they can do whatever the hell they want. But you Jakes, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Israelites, according to your father's side, the spirit on your father line, this ain't for you, man. It says the woman shall not, this is Deuteronomy 22 and 5, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy power. Unto Yahweh Shah, the Most High God, the Creator. He's gonna jack you up for that, man. He warned you right here. And believe it or not, you are responsible for keeping this because we agreed to this. You go back into when we were under Mount Sinai, we agreed to this. We agreed to keep these statutes, laws, and commandments. And every time we break them, he jacks us up. And this last time we broke them, he took himself away from us and hasn't been dealing with it. But now the Lord then came over about 2,000 years ago. And he's gonna make us get back right. He's gonna choose an elect, and he's gonna destroy the rest, man. Another script about the dad pastor. I'm gonna close out. This is basically just to bring out the information. It wasn't really to go in super deep or nothing, but there's nothing deep about this. So let me see. 5th chapter, 17th verse. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse. I'm gonna go to 19. It says, Matthew 5 and 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, which being transgenders breaks the commandments, it says, and shall teach men so. These people have taught these children to be this way now. Children didn't learn this on their own. There's subliminal messages like SpongeBob and so on and so forth that push that agenda. There's cartoons, Bugs Bunny wearing a dress, playing the role of a woman. I mean, there's all kinds of things that this man puts out there in his TV and his movie and his media that our people fall for. It says, and shall teach men so. This pastor accepting it. You know this Bible. You shouldn't be pushing that. You should have stepped down as the pastor of that church. If you didn't want to condemn your son, well, your daughter, whatever you want to call it. You should have stepped down off that podium, man, from that church. It says, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, you're supposed to teach that. But we know you're probably not a Jake. You probably need a mic. You know? Something else I had. Nah, I'm gonna close out right there. I gotta get out of here. So, with that, man, death to America, man, and all this wicked ass way. You grown-ups blame innocent children. I hate to call these children innocent, but you blame these innocent children, these children that don't, these naive children. You know that going on. I'm not sure, man. These children, you blame these children, and they don't even know what's really going on, man. But you're setting them up for destruction. And I don't care about what these other people do. I'm talking about you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You people are the ones that's gonna really get jacked up. You're the ones that know better in your spirit, and it's gonna get jacked up, man, by the Heavenly Father. 10-year-old transgender, man. Get out there getting sympathy. I'm the scary transgender person the media warned you about. Yeah, you are scary, man. You're confusing. Now, if one of my kids would come around and play with this kid and didn't know the difference at first, and then realize the difference, my kids would be confused, man, just like any other kid would. You know, this world's trying to erase masculinity and push femininity. That's really what's going on. So with that, I'm going to close out. Say, all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim Yashai. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Greetings, salutations, and blessings on the house of David the elect. Shalom.